Welcome on in, everyone. Thank y'all for being here. I really appreciate it. Welcome on in, G-Terran. Welcome on in, Layla Bela. Welcome on in, Big Burn Sanctival. Glad to have you, Sweepies. Welcome on in, Slow Panda as well. Welcome on in, Big O Luxray. Glad to have you. Welcome on in, Kronos. Welcome on in, Fine Point. Welcome on in, Casper House. Welcome on in, Akaborb. Where the heck are the Borb drones? Design Hell. Welcome on in, Jake Ping. Glad to have you as well. Here, let me get a crafty shout out in here for Big O. Big O, heckin' wonderful, Big Luxray. Wonderful, very sweet bean. Go give him a check out. But yeah, we are returning to art. And I guess we're back to Nightbot. Oh, how this entire fucking I hate that there's no good streaming music bot. Unfortunately, I'm sure there is, but I just need to get it figured out. But anyways, art. We are here to render a Hrothgar. I just realized, actually, hold up. I actually have to fucking... Well, here, let me open up fucking...
Rats, we're rats. We're the rats.
Scroll. What's up, Crisp?
Starky, help. I'm just scrolling through shit AMD. I can't stop finding Danganronpa memes.
I'm sorry for all of the Danganronpa memes you have to engage with now. But no, we're back to YouTube. And I'm just gonna have to be more proactive about getting rid of any shitty memes. But no. All right. Yay. Oh, wait, hold up. I just realized. Let me check real quick. Okay, perfect. You can hear it. Although I probably should bump up the Pokemon is Zeph. Glad I have you, Sweet Bean. Okay, that worked a little bit too well. But no, hopefully everyone's week's been going well. What? Okay, good. I'm double checking. I have too many fucking audio sources apparently. My audio mixer is kind of a nightmare to read in OBS. But yeah, no, just be sure to avoid anything like aggressively garbage. I will skip stuff. But no. But yeah, so I need to finish up coloring a little bit. I know I was having some discussion last time about what color to make the pit hair. And I think I'm just gonna say fuck it and make it like I'm just gonna say fuck it and make it like this. But no. Oh, well, I guess happy Monday. As happy as Monday can reasonably be. But no, sorry I wasn't able to stream Friday. I just got like giga hit with like exhaustion. And I think that, like that you know, it was wise for me to take Friday off. Even if I was like annoyed that I had to do it. Also, the new Flavor Fully song is a fucking banger. But no, read about my foolish mistake of getting a job where I have to do a 3-mile walk both ways, so I got a bike without knowing how to ride a bike. This seems like the kind of thing you're supposed to rant about. I mean, here's the thing: if I'm gonna rant about it, I'm gonna call you a fool. I'm gonna call you a baka. So apparently, Zeph, in his infinite wisdom, this is a man that I've chosen to moderate my chat. So clearly, like, you know, this reflects probably a bit negatively on me. Has made the extremely smart decision of, you know, finding a work position that is about a 3-mile walk, which, you know, is not necessarily super long, but definitely that adds up every single day. But, you know, it's okay, cool. Like, you know, that's manageable with a bike, except apparently he can't ride a bike. Why did you buy the bike if you can't ride the bike? Here's the thing, like, I don't actually know how to ride a bike for sure, but I don't have a bike to ride. I specifically have a card, so I don't have to know that skill. That, like, so can you ride a bike? No. It's just like, I don't know. I was apparently able to do it, but like I kept having difficulties with steering, and then my parents just it kind of just got dropped. You throw stones and such. I have no glass house because I don't have a bike. I can make fun of bike riders. I haven't got off the training wheels last I rode in childhood. I can't ride a bike, but I know how to ride men. Yeah, Ziazeth? I see you streaming yourself has given you has emboldened you in some regards. But no, so it ended up being like a surprise duo shopping trip for groceries on Saturday, and I had to go to fucking Myers, which is giga expensive compared to Aldi's at least, and then I ended up just like It was supposed to be 2 birthday parties this weekend, which was part of why I was like, I should probably like take care of myself in advance. One of them ended up getting scheduled to next weekend, so, and that was one that was like, I was for sure, that one was definitely going to be on stream, so I was like, you know, it's okay, I'll make up for it, and then I wasn't able to make up for it. The days go by so uniformly, tightly controlled and determined for me, yeah. Welcome on, Minotaur. Glad to have you, Sweet Bean. Wait, it was Starky's birthday last weekend, which it's not my birthday. Welcome on, Balderhina. Glad to have you, Sweet. Me when the horrors are outside of my comprehension, I don't get it. But welcome on a Minotaur Mag. I hope you're doing well. Happy. It's not. My birthday is in October. Nope, that's the wrong layer. Realize you're just obsessed, a fraud at best. Okay. Welcome on, Rish. Good to have you, Sweet Bean. And now it's time for me to figure out how the fuck to render. I've completely forgotten how to do this task. This is like a relatively basic task that I've just completely evaded my brain. Doing good, cooking. Hope you're having good art. It's going all right so far. This is, to be fair, how I spent most of February. In terms of job having a shitty commute, job is better than no job these days. That's fair. What's up, Chris?
Starky, weird thing, since you stated that you can't ride a bike, the Borbs have taken the liberty to make you a Borb bike, where the wheels are just Borbs. I'm pretty sure that they made a palanquin bike.
Yeah, that's basically a palanquin at that point. I need to figure out like because like I need to figure out like I think I usually use like this for it now. My birthday is in 2 days. I didn't know that. I'm so sorry. Happy early birthday, Rish. Oh wait, no, that's right. I definitely did know that because there was the plans for this weekend, which I might be stupid. It should be fine. It should be fine because I did is the plan for lunch or dinner? I can't remember. I'm so sorry. I feel like it's the beginning of the year and then November where like a lot of birthdays happen, and I've kind of lost track of a lot of this stuff. But happy early birthday. My friend's birthday is literally in the middle of the week this year. Apparently poor Rich as well, because it lands on the Wednesday. They haven't worked out the details yet? Okay, perfect. Not perfect in that we haven't worked out the details. Perfect in that like I've not fucked up by being unaware of the details. And thank you. I am a goobus. I'm a goobus doing my bestest. If cosplay shows up, I'm showing you what that horrific type of ASMR video shows up in this homepage. Welcome on, a monkey. Glad to have you, Sweet Bean. In a Barbie world, slipped in plastic. It's fantastic. Can touch my hair. It puts me anywhere. Imagination is your creation. Let's. It was so funny listening. Like, it was so clear, like, watching the Lunar's drunk karaoke, that Lunar has never actively paid attention to the lyrics of this song. Because he was completely caught off guard by how horny it was. It was really funny. It was extremely funny that he was just like, what's happening? And the entire time Pocket's just going off. Excuse me, what the fuck's happening here? Did I? Excuse me, what is wrong with me? I swear to God. There's something very wrong with me when it comes to like trying to figure out how to use my fucking layers. You can play, you can say, I'm always yours. But no, it is a very sexual song. Okay. I need to figure out how the fuck I do rendering. Because I have genuinely, it's been so long since I've tried that I've forgotten to do it. I think with how dark this color is, I think we do it based on color, right? That seems like a wise way of handling it to me. Earring Magic Ken is still the best thing associated with the Barbie IP. You're not wrong. I do also like Sugar Daddy Ken, to be fair. Hilariously, Mattel refused to accept the Barbie song by Aqua. Okay. Layer mask. Mask outside selection.
Wretch, wretch,
Okay.
we're the wretch.
Man, Barbie and Ken is the most obvious lavender marriage in hindsight. You cannot prove me wrong.
I mean, because to some degree you are correct. I do like what the Barbie movie did, where they very much made Barbie ace coded. I wish I had like is this kind of what I'm looking for? This is kind of what I'm looking for. I don't like this like pattern that's kind of revealing itself. I want a texture brush, but I want a texture brush that's not like super here. Something kind of like this. I don't like it's like how it's like leaving like streaks. And there's like weird like dead zones. It's because they're different strokes.
Wretch, wretch, we're the wretch.
Fun fact, did you know that it was announced that iProfits didn't have any effect regarding economic growth for the entirety of 2025?
That sounds about right. Because there were no AI profits to be had. Hold up, is this? Okay, perfect. That is now working. Sure can't wait for the catastrophic explosion that will be the pop of the AI bubble. Yeah. At that point, at least, like, I mean, the good news is that, like, at least, you know, we'll be able to, like, move on in terms of conversation points. Don't get me wrong, I completely understand and like appreciate the like the genuine frustration that there is, but it's also like, I don't know. I feel like there's an amount of like well circling that kind of comes with I like the oil blender. Do you think OpenAI will survive the? No, OpenAI is already like falling apart. Like there's like Sam Altman is already like struggling to fucking find people who are willing to continue giving him money to burn. I need to just like set aside all of the brushes that I like. But no, like it is getting dire. It's the only AI that remains, but be localized and monitor AIs like Neurosama. I'll be honest with you, I don't even really like Neurosama that much. I'm not the hugest fan of it. I was never a huge fan of Neurosama, to be fair. And I'm sure that like, oh, if you clip that and fucking post it to Twitter, I'm sure I'd get death threats for it, but it's like, I don't know, it feels not necessarily lazy, but it feels like it kind of misses the point of what streaming is supposed to be. And I feel like that's like the underlying issue with everyone that does AI anything, is that like part of you're missing the experience of growth and like you know, watching a streamer that you enjoy grow and develop and like get, you know, and I don't know. So you're furry, we're getting death threats for VTuber Twitter no matter what we do. That's a fair point, actually. Also, but no, welcome on, Matthias. Also, thank you guys for like for keeping the queue mostly free of memes. Neuro is a small scale science project, so it's pretty localized. I suppose that's fair, but it's also like, how do I explain it? I think it's like, it's one of those things where it's like, there is a genuine cost to be had when you're looking at, you know, I think in terms of, I think my underlying frustration, I guess, is that like for me, I very much view I very much view streaming as like a social activity. Like in my mind, Twitch isn't a media platform; it's a social media platform. You know, and like Facebook or like Twitter or Blue Sky or whatever, where like I think Twitch succeeds the most when it is allows and encourages small and like, you know, small, medium, big, like it, you know, encourages a lot of interaction between streamers. Welcome on Nimbell. It's glad to have you, Sweet Bean. Hope you're all doing well this afternoon. I'm doing okay. And I feel like I guess like, you know, you could be like, oh, you could just talk to Neurosama's creator, but I also feel like that's like, you know, I feel like, you know, the people who are likely to watch or engage with Neurosama stuff aren't really in it for excuse me, do you actually have claws? Do Hrothgar have claws? I've never thought to ask this question. Okay, he does. They're just like, I think they're this color. It's probably not a fan of big VTubers is there's nowhere point to the chat when you reach. I think like that's the like, you know. I definitely have a propensity to hang out and relax in medium to big, not medium to big, but like medium to smaller Twitch chats. Because I view those places as like kind of the best place to be for someone who's like trying to engage with like an actual conversation. I do not like that color here. I'm gonna start ignoring the color sheet a little bit, the reference sheet a little bit. I feel that for my threshold, it's like 60-ish, which is lower than most people's. I mean, I moderate for one person who gets like on average about 100, and I moderate for one person whose numbers are incredibly high. They're highly variable, but anywhere from like nowadays like 400 to like upwards of 1,000. Welcome on to Phoenix. Glad to have you, sweet bean. And like, I definitely, when it comes to like actively chatting, I feel like the 100, average ends up being a lot more conducive to like actual conversations. Whereas like once it reaches like a certain scale, it becomes more about just like like wacky reactions. Chat becomes less a group of individuals and more like a amorphous hive mind collective, which is by no means a bad thing. It's just like not. What layer am I on? I don't know what layer I was on. It becomes less talking with to talking to. Exactly. And like that's not, so for some people that's what they're looking for. And like if that is the case, like absolutely no shade. Like, it's just like I don't know. I feel like it's not like the thing that like and to some degree it's like I am aware. Welcome on Tetralux. Glad to have you, sweet bean. Hello, hello, Goobird. Hello. Because to some degree that like underlying thought pattern of like, oh, I want to have a conversation with this streamer can lead a little bit to like parasociality, which is like not, that's not to say like, oh, like if you want to have a conversation with a streamer that's intrinsically parasocial. No, it's I feel like for a certain group, like there's a subset of people who view the act of like engaging directly with the streamer as being like outside of their comfort zone, and that's fair. And like I think that's why it's like good to have kind of a variety. Yeah, those tend to be more shows to some extent. Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that. I feel like I'm losing my mind. That's yet again why I avoid larger streamers. It's all the kind of this expectation of conversations, which isn't which isn't healthy socially either. What is happening? I was like struggling to figure out like. What the what? Oh, it's because it's a blender? It is. But no, like, yeah, it's here. Oil around. There's an amount of like kind of there's an amount of you know, tinkering around that I have to do here to get used to these tools. I think there's too much brush density. And to some degree, like I think it probably would benefit me to have like a friend who's you know, who is somewhat more experienced with this kind of like, you know, structure to kind of help me figure out what I'm fucking doing. Which is not me like, oh. But no, like, I definitely, like, I think, you know, I come to Twitch for something different than I think that, you know, the vast majority of people, because the majority of people on Twitch are lurkers. Like, you know, that is just, like, the nature of things. Is that, like, you know, you are intrinsically, you know... It is scary to engage socially, so a lot of people just don't. And, like, that is entirely understandable and genuinely fair. But it does, like, it makes specifically my life harder. As someone who wants to engage with the platform as, like, a social thing. Apply mask to layer. I love engaging to some degree if possible. Yeah. For me, it's what I think makes Twitch as a platform special. But, you know, whoopsies. I also can't, like, you know, I kind of get where people are coming from, where they're like, yeah, I'm just here to, like, I'm just here to watch honey, like, you know, watch funny anime girl. Welcome on, White Spun. Glad to have you, Sweet Bean. So, you know, it ends up being like, I don't know. And it's not to say, like, there are big streamers I enjoy, but I enjoy them more as content creators instead of people I would want to engage with. You know, I love watching, like, Vinny Vinesauce's stuff. I love Germa's stuff. But, like, you know, I feel like it would be almost impossible for me to, like, socialize with them as, like, people. If only just because of, like, the you know, the nature of Twitch as a platform, and, like, how, like, once you reach a certain size. Welcome on, Astral. Glad to have you, Sweet Bean. I'm currently trying my best to figure out how rendering works. I don't have an eye for rendering yet. I think that's like one of my more meaningful problems. Well, come on, how you holding up? I'm not even sure what rendering is. So rendering is like adding texture. So it's kind of, so what like, you know, it's possible that like I have misunderstood it and I actually have no idea what rendering even is. Welcome on, Javi. Glad to have you, Sweet Bean. Could you shout out for Winged Fatty Links if one of my mods is available? But rendering is a lot of it's a lot of adding texture. So, you know, like this stuff right here is a flat texture. Whereas what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to render this, like I'm trying to add texture to this, that way it looks like fur. You know? YouTube is back. Welcome to Oceana. Glad to have you, Sweet Bean. Yeah, we are. In part because Songify broke, like, at the beginning of stream, and I'm like, well, shit. Rendering for me is like shading, but because to add textures, lights, and shadow are also very useful. Besides shading and lights can end up hiding render work, so I just do all of that at the same time. Who asked for the Dracula Funky remix? This is from. This is what's this like the villain of Morrowind, I think. Pit, welcome on, Trendy. Glad to have you, Sweet Bean. I'm glad that the Pit's I won't lie, like it. Good show for Trendy Father if one of my mods is available. I don't know if I'm the only one, but unironically, so like if it's a first time chatter, it's weird. But if I get like a regular who shows up and is like, yeah, I'm gonna be horny about the thing you're drawing, it's so validating. It's so genuinely validating to be like, yes, I'm doing good work. But no, hopefully you're doing well, you sweet bean. Let's see. But no, like to some degree, this is like. Starky, you're always horny on stream. What do you mean? I'm very okay, that's not. I was about to say is I'm very wholesome on stream, and that's not fair. That's not correct. But like, you know, you're very wholesome. I'm not like I broach horny topics, but I usually try to broach them from like kind of from like a kind of a like educational angle more than anything. Also, give a shout for Ivan Arts. Welcome on Death Nation. Very wholesome. Listen. Not my chat calling me a whore. I can't believe my chat is slut-shaming me. I'm kidding. That's a joke. This is a joke before anyone adds me. What are we not? Fair enough. Fair point. Don't make me open the Google Doc. You know, it'd be fun dragging Starky to play Morrowind. I'm not slut shaming you. I'm recognizing you as an equal. Is a wild thing to say. I love that slut shaming also got caught as like a bullying term. That's so fucking funny. Oh my god. That's so funny. Listen, to some degree, I definitely like I completely. All right, I've been flattened. I've been reduced by. I've had a dimension removed from me. Okay, start. So the way that I think it's the way that I've usually been told to like think about rendering is to start with the darks and then go brighter. I wish I was flattened too. You're gonna play Morrowind. I might play Morrowind at some point, but that is very, very low on the priority list. They can overcome my shyness having a rat summon because I see Crisp over there. Nice. But no, I very much get that like ageosexual thing, where like a lot of I'm like this is appealing, but like more in theory than in practice. This is Bardcore Evangelion. Welcome on in, Corvid. Glad to have you, sweet. Good show for Corvid. This is okay. Flattening is my thing. I never hit it. I thought your thing was gaining more and more third dimension. You see, Javi, it's like when you like stretch a balloon before you blow it up. It's the same effect. Where like you're just pre-stretching the balloons. That way it's easier to get the initial breath in. Also, that I can't wait to see the new password slow generates. Okay, I hold up because I'm looking at my I'm looking. There we go. I think about here is a little bit more accurate. True, there was no password. Sad. Sorry, that's another kink. What, being stretched? It's been a while. Sorry, no, you're fine. It's okay, we don't need a password all the time. That's fair. Just means I have to I just have to improve my my flustering game. Balon. No, that is the kink we were referring to. That is the kink I'm referring to. How's that look? Luftballon. Okay, then yeah, no. Slowed Panda is our resident inflation receiver, so pool toy Starky, yes or no? I would say yes. I will allow that. Because even though it is a kink thing, it's not like intrinsically sexual. There's just like visual appeal to the pool toy thing, for me at least. But no, like there is some amount of like egosexuality where I'm just like, I don't, pool toy Storky, yeah, yes, load. What the fuck? I listen. I pool toy or stuffy Starky. I mean, both are neat. I don't know. There's something to be said about like the different textures that like it takes notes. So it gives a connoisseur of textures. Yeah, yeah. It is YouTube now. It's we're back on YouTube. I think I need to lower the amount of paint. Might as well put the song that I had in my mind all day. I'm still being wholesome. I can flip the switch if you want. Question though, would you have a pool toy Starky with a pool toy groin or just beak? Just beak. Yeah, so it's 1S and then YouTube link. Also, other people can eat your inputs if you like hit it about the same time. I think there's like a 5-second internal cooldown. So like when one person does it, you have to wait like 5 seconds and then try again. I don't think there's anything I can do to actually fix that, unfortunately. More Nagito, please. No. Oh shit! I love the code. That's a banger. Whoa-oh. I broke the code. Whoa-oh. It's so good. Oh, for sure. The fact that he can hit both of like that full range, the fact that they can hit that full range of notes is genuinely astounding. Okay. Let's see. I like the brush, but I didn't like the shape of it. I'm sure there's like a way to change that. Normally you'll hear differences between the recorded version and the live, and you could hear them hitting each note. It's amazing. Oh, that definitely sounds like it. That sounds amazing. I always find the weirdest songs of your stream. It's funny. No, like I appreciate the eclectic mix that everyone brings. There are times where I I am like y'all. There are times where I have to be like, you're bringing too much spice, which is usually when y'all are bringing some fucking shit ass memes. But like, maybe this is like kind of what I. Hold up. Because I know something. There's something to be said about like brush techniques as well as using the brush. I'm using like one of the things I learned from Bob Ross, so this might not work even remotely. I think there's so much brush density. That's some color stretch. Gosh, I love Bob Ross. Bob Ross is great. This is just gonna be like futzing around. Is it like, do I need to use like different hues? Is that the secret? Like I need to like use warmer hues? Okay, might need to increase brush density. You carried me learning painting with acrylics. Shut up, Bob Ross. I mean, isn't there like a Twitch channel that plays like all of his, all of his things on reruns? Because I remember him like there is every weekend. I definitely remember there being like the one Bob Ross thing I tried to do. He was like little X's tend to be kind of the sauce. When it comes to like trying to get like a specific kind of texture. There was, I don't know about now. Was that you that had the animal facts? There is, Siribot, I think, has some amount of animal facts. I think Siribot should still be connected. That's the way you used to blend makes the colors more noticeable in specific places, and then he'd beat the fuck out of the brush. Honestly, it's easier to get smooth paint strokes IRL. Yeah, that doesn't necessarily surprise me. We interrupt this program. I heard that Courage the Cowardly Dog dog sample. Oh god, I have to fight I have to fight my tablet because it's doing the thing again where it's hard to describe it. It basically like doesn't let me interact at all with my computer. Like it stores all of the interactions that I do. Until like I unplug it, and then like if I try to do too much, it just starts beeping at me. I don't know if it's like a driver issue or what. I find that like just unplugging it and replugging it in a bunch fixes it, but welcome on, Casa. Glad to have you, Sweet Bean. Mugenics. I haven't seen any free stream that game. There have been a couple of people like I've been following who've streamed it. I don't know. I definitely tried to play. I tried to play Wobble Dogs like a while back, and it just made me genuinely uncomfortable. So like I don't think I'm gonna be playing Mugenics anytime soon. I think just like kind of the nature of like you know the like the video gamification of like Puppy Mills genuinely makes me a little bit upset in a way that like I don't know. I would rather we didn't, so I won't be. Your boy is Big Dumb. Guess who went to the ER on the weekend? What? Oh my god, what happened? What did you do? I ignored an issue that became a pain in the butt. Yeah, you probably shouldn't have done that. Welcome on a Risk. Glad I have you, Sweet Big shout out for Risk. Happy, by the way, happy Steam Next Fest, everybody. I have no idea what Steam Next Fest is. I'm gonna be honest.
Wow.
Hold up. Let me try like. Kroby like hola, hola. Big Steam event where indie devs showcase their games demos. Oh, okay. Oh, damn, already? I think it might be applying too much color stretch. I think that might be part of my issue. It's been long since I used a text like that. No, the Zalgofied. Also, good news is that it wasn't the biggest of deals, but I got to duke it out with insurance. Oh, for sure. I mean, hey, the good news is like your insurance premiums are gonna be like you're getting all of your copays out of the way at the beginning of the year. Yeah, I don't know where the Zalgo name came from, and I saw it in the locked memories. Crows be silly. It's an early internet thing. I think the Zalgo was like supposed to be like a fake eldritch god that's supposed to have infested your computer. Every time I open stream lately, Starky zoomed in on the pit. Welcome on in, Magic Guy. Glad to have you, Sweet Bean. Listen. There's like, okay, there's so much space here that is pit that it would be a touch difficult for me to not zoom in on it by accident. Okay, fuck it. Just get silly with it, man. I mean, this is like the refracted light that's like bouncing back up and hitting the body. I forget the term for that, like a occluded light. James, welcome on in. Thank you, Cody, for the follow. It's me, Goku. Welcome on in, though. Glad to be, Sweet Bean. I am currently, well, for those of you who are new here, welcome on in. I'm StarkyMorph, the Chaos Current Internet, Bryce Streamer, live every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. Here, let me...
It's me, Goku.
It's me, Goku. Welcome on in, Dimension, as well. But no, I'm currently working on a piece for a for someone who was very, very supportive of stream last year, and yeah, Goth Forest Creature. I've been doing art for about 2 years. I'm still very much in the learning phase. I'm currently trying to figure out how to render with zero experience in rendering, and it's so far it's a bit of a mixed experience. But welcome on in. Also, welcome on Guaco X, right? Thank you for the, Goth Forest Creature. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to Live Chat. But yeah, this is proving to be very much a learning experience. This year is very much, I'm trying to turn it into like my like artist training arc. The moment we got braided, my browser froze. Oh no. But yeah, we got song request open, so we're just chilling, chatting. Rendering is fun. It's one of those things I can just shut my brain off and lose myself in fleshing things out. My big thing is like, I have no idea kind of like what strategies I should use when it comes to rendering. So I've just been kind of like, I guess it's one of those things where it's like, because right now I'm doing it based on color, and I don't know if that's the wise way of doing it. Welcome on, Gigantic. What have you, Sweet Bean? The Death Nation. Don't ask the Raiders for steppies. You're supposed to. That is a wild thing that I have to say. I will at the con. Listen, just because I have a steppies emo here doesn't mean necessarily you can ask other people for steppies. I actually do have a partial that I need to. Guaco, thank you for the follow. Welcome to Lab Chat. I have a partial and I do need to wear it to more events. What you do? I do. I just don't necessarily like, you know, it's kind of a pain in the ass for me to wear. Like if I bring it to I have seen it. Yeah. It's one of those things where it's like it getting into and out of it's such a pain that it's not worth doing unless I have like a hotel nearby or like am in the main hotel. And I will eat a rat, so I have a partial rat suit. Where are you going with that? Happy Lunar New Year. Happy Lunar New Year to you as well. It is officially the year of the horse. Year of the horse, baby. I can't wait to hear about horses for the rest of this year. As as someone who apparently it's just a recurrent stream bit where people will just at me about horses. For context, when I was a kid, I almost got killed by a horse, and chat loves to like because I'm like I don't trust horses, and chat's like chat gives me shit about it all the fucking time. I mean, luckily I didn't, but boo horses. Horses are fucking scary. They're like horses are basically wild animals. They're very unpredictable. Did you dye it? Yes. I did in fact dye it. F. I remembered one AC road trip seeing a horse on the side of the road at full mast. Jesus! I was not expecting the sentence to end that way. It kind of caught me off guard. That was a good year. They're both scary and very funny, and nature's fucked up. Also, horses will just inflate themselves to death. It's just a thing that happens with horses occasionally. They're very dumb creatures.
Wretch, we're the wretch.
Starky is the reason why we banned all horses from our lab. Unfortunately, that means no free horse powers from horse drones.
I'm sorry, horses will what? So it's called cribbing. It doesn't happen with every horses, but it's like in a 1 to 2% of the population of horses. Sometimes they'll just fucking like bite onto things and then suck in air through their mouths, and it will end up in their stomach. So they'll just inflate. And if you don't deflate them, they just fucking die. Horses are way calmer than dogs, not in my experience. Welcome on in, Amari. Glad to have you, sweet bean. It is like, that is an actual thing. Inflates your horses big around. To some degree, it does surprise me how more horse owners aren't into inflation. That is one stereotype that's like, I'm surprised isn't more of a thing. Horses are more fragile. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like horses are massive, incredibly powerful, and also incredibly fucking fragile because like they just don't have like, they're extremely resilient with no HP pool. They got like in D&D terms, they got like a 19 AC with fucking 5 hit points. Never trust a horse. That's what I'm saying. How do you deflate a horse? I'm not actually 100% sure. The known horse thing is hyper and another kind of inflation. Yeah, usually like my stereotype for people with horse sonas is hyper and conflation. Horses have so much blood vessels. Also, horses have to have like incredibly high blood pressure. Too niche information. It's your duty to enlighten the masses, Starky. Be the horse inflator. What the fuck kind of title is that? That's haunted. How do you know about this about horses? Funnily enough, that particular bit of information was because of Rooster Teeth animations. Rest in peace. Well, rest in piss for some of them. To know your enemy is also a really good response. We're about to be something very deeply cursed. Wait. Okay, I was about to be like, did it break? I was about to be really, really sad if it broke. I'm trying to figure out how to debone fish, and I ADHD forgot to eat until 8 p.m. Okay, so I'm basically trying to do this based on like color and position. Akasai is here. It's okay if I show the ASMR YouTube recommended to you, Starky. I'm not playing any ASMR. It genuinely, like, unless it's meme quality, I ain't fucking. I miss Ruby up to season 3. Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. See, think of the welcome on a Ruffles. Glad to be sweeping. I'll say it. Season 1 of Ruby was kind of ass. Like, season 1 of Ruby was pretty bad as well, and I feel like that kind of gets like ignored. Season 1 of Ruby is like a 5 out of 10, with the fucking bullying subplot ass to have an ass. Rothy. What? Yay. I'm doing good. People are making thirst comments. Pog. That animation where Cinder is jumping across the rooftops while infiltrating the school is so funny. Pits. Ruby season 1 was fun despite the awkwardness. Even in season 1, John was the true protagonist. It's funny. So it's funny. Baz is sending it. This is the ASMR YouTube recommends to Kasai. I will at least look at the title. I gotta mark that in a row real quick. ASMR. Hey, Kasai. Hey, Kasai. Not to at you or anything. But what the fuck is this YouTube recommendation? This is cursed. Is this it Kasai call up post?
We're the wretch.
I never clicked don't recommend channel so fast in my life.
Fair enough. Fair enough. No kink shaming. Come on, guys. All I'm saying is, okay, here's the thing. Here's the thing, though. I've been fucking warning Kasai about looking up Coco Melon on his main account. So this is a self-inflicted. This is a like, yes, it sucks that you got recommended that. Also, it's your fucking fault. Because you look up ASMR and Coco Melon. Coco Melon led to that? Well, I'm assuming it's a combination of ASMR and Coco Melon. I can't imagine it was just Coco Melon. Layer mask. Mask outside selection. Alright, now time to make the thing all sweaty. I confused my algorithm in a bad way. I gifted a streamer Coco Melon for Christmas as a prank. Sweaty? Well, of course. I mean, he's got to be wearing this for a good reason. I feel like this is not the brush I was using. Wearing wife beaters are kind of weird. Honestly, your armpits will always be exposed. It's slowed. This is a very attractive Starkey. That makes me happy to hear. It's weird. It's like people being horny about me, extremely extremely uninterested. People being horny about the things that I make, 10 out of 10. Extremely happy about that. This development. Oh, oh. Me realizing I'm wearing a tank top and I'm suddenly very aware of this. It's for ventilation and showing off. Give this a chubby belly and that's me at home. I mean, I definitely tend to wear a tank top, you know, like when because I live alone. You're so demisexual. Honestly, yeah. So, you know, I live alone, so I literally just walk around in the middle of the day with nothing but like underwear and tank top, and I don't. Why wouldn't people be horny about you, Starky? I don't know. It's like the asexual thing, where it's like I like the idea of a thing more than like actually like engaging with it, which isn't to say that like there is like, you know. Believe it or not, chat, I have in fact fucked. I'm kidding, but like, you know. And you wonder why I keep saying how hot you are. Underwear and tank top, my favorite big man outfit. Doesn't tell my wife beater's kissing boy things in the back. I mean, you know, wife beater is kind of the antiquated name. I think tank top is generally. I mean, I do that occasionally. Still, my roommates just don't care. That's fair. Okay. Antiquated? Like old. Like kind of out of date. Are you sure you won't feel lonely most of the time? I mean, I'm fine. Here's the thing. I have more or less like made. Here's the thing. Like, in regards to like loneliness and like relationships, I'm not at all like, I don't really. I've more or less have moved beyond like that urge of like, oh, I have to find a relationship. Like I've been in a couple of relationships and they've to like varying levels of success. And so I'm not rushing it because I'm confidently single. So like I know kind of what to expect from a relationship and I know what I want out of one. So like if I find someone that I vibe with, you know, if I find someone that I vibe with and it works out, then yeah, I'll pursue a relationship. But like it's not like a requirement for me. It's not something like that's an active pursuit. So he's evolved past the need for trivial things. Like I'm not like unemotional. I would be happy to have you as a third Starky. I started watching you, you were in a relationship. Oh god, that was so long ago. that entire thing, because it was an amicable breakup until some jackass showed up and made it complicated. Like it was like genuinely like an amicable breakup until XYZ thing happened that I don't fucking talk about anymore. Not because I'm like afraid of talking about it, but just because it isn't worth my time thinking about it. This might be one of those situations where it's actually better to use. Because it naturally soaks in, so. Welcome on in, Ray. Glad to have you, Sweet Bean. Can I shout for Ray? I'm not really interested in a relationship myself. It's like, yeah. For me, it's solar. Left furries, they can't not be messy. Here's the thing. It to some degree, like it is like that is that, you know, you are more correct than you kind of know. But like there is, you know, it to some degree it's kind of about like knowing who has the energy that's worth keeping around. I would have fixed myself before entering the dating scene. I genuinely think that that's the way to go about it. Like, I genuinely think, like, because here's the thing. You're not gonna, like, there are people who get into relationships and, like, I'm not messy, but I could be. Here's the thing. I am privy to so much tea. I actively try my hardest to avoid, like, spilling any of it. Because I'm just like, this is just gonna cause problems. You know? It's gonna cause problems for me, and it's gonna cause problems for, like, people I care about, so I'm just like, I'm not engaging. I've had enough of my fucking... I've had my fill of that bullshit already. Let's people misunderstand what a relationship is for. There are some people, like, don't get me wrong, I've seen a relationship work where there is, like, an amount of, like, the two of them are not necessarily filling in each other's, like, missing pieces, but, like, they are providing something to each other that the other person needs to, like, heal and, like, improve as a person. And, like, in those kinds of relationships, that's genuinely great. I know so much, like a lot. So today we're going to discuss No, not the fucking puphood discourse again. Oh my god, this is the most fucking tired bullshit of all time. Here's the thing. As someone, I personally don't like puphoods, but, like, I'm not going to make that anyone else's problem. If you genuinely, like, you know, are happy to be a part of that community, more power to you. Puphood discourse. It's a thing that happens like once every about once a year. It's about a yearly discussion that gets brought up again and again, where it's basically, you know, people who are new to the fandom are like, oh, like, we shouldn't have puphoods in fandom spaces that are safe for work because they're intrinsically a kink thing. It's basically the same thing as, like, the people who are like, oh, there shouldn't be kink at Pride. But, like, yeah, or like furs shouldn't be so overtly sexual. It is like an appeal to, like, normalization to some degree, to be like, oh, if we stop being weird, like, you know, the normies will stop hating on us, without really understanding that that's not the reason normies hate us. It's because we're a very openly queer community, and, like, you know, not normalization, regression. Yeah, that's fair. Regression, but in, like, in an appeal to normalization. Like, they don't realize that it's a regression. They're like, oh, this is normal. It's like version behavior, basically. So it's just like I don't personally find the pup stuff super duper appealing. It's like, no shaming virgins. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with being virgins. It's the incels that are the problem. I'm gonna get banned. It's fine. But no. What are you into being shamed, though? There's better ways to go about that, I think. See, I was gonna use the word, but Twitch hates it. It's the only problem is that virgin makes it the world's problem. Yeah. There's something that kink in public spaces is kind of nope. And now I'm like, be the weirdest you can be, so corpos. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, we have demonstrably seen corporations try to, like, invade and, like, you know, situate themselves in furry spaces. And furries just are, like, I would argue the best thing about the furry fandom is that we're really good about chasing away corporations. Like, you know, don't get me wrong, though. Like, I am very happy to make fun of friends, like, not make fun of, but, like, to tease friends about, you know, if they have, like, a deep interest in the pup play. You know, I'll tease them, you know, respectfully. But, like, you know, it's not necessarily something that I find overtly appealing. It's in the same category for me as, like, vor, where it's like, it's not something that I'm, like, overtly into, but, like, if it is for the purpose of teasing a friend, I will happily partake. Someone is making a tweet longer about you for this opinion right now. You're done, Starky Burb. I mean, hey, good news. I'm not on fucking Twitter anymore. My life has gotten significantly, I cannot express this enough. If you are still on Twitter, my life got significantly better when I left Twitter 2 years ago, and I haven't missed anything of value. Not a single thing of value has been on Twitter in 2 fucking years. NPR stopped posting on Twitter, and they didn't see a decrease in revenue. You're not bigger than NPR. Twitter is not a growth platform anymore. I can't get over that emote being there instead of the word. Personally don't like puppets, but plenty of friends do, and that's more power to them. Exactly. Here's the thing. It's like, for me, like, it is the kind of thing where I'm like, I genuinely think it is great that, like, they are able to enjoy this thing that I cannot. It is a kink that I personally don't, you know, I don't understand. And that's fine. Same thing with the Onion. Starkey likes platforms when he can grow. I mean, listen, I do like macro and micro. I originally was like I was like primarily micro, and then like I realized, wait, it's also fun. It's really fun being the big guy and teasing others. And then then it was kind of over for me, where I'm like, oh wait, hold up, I might. Starkey, do you have your Minotaur ref publicly available? I do. It is on my Blue Sky, although it's, you know. And are we allowed to fan art him? Go for it. You go, absolutely. Feel free to you know, make art of the Moo Man. Because it's fun. It's fun to some degree to, like, you know, the thought of being big. I swear to God, every fucking time I feel like I'm using a different, like, brush. I just need to, like, find the brushes that I want to use and, like, set them aside. Is music a little bit loud compared to you? What level of fan art are you comfortable with? Suggestive, but nothing explicit. Just a little bit? Okay, I've lowered it a little bit. That should be fine. I make more and more sets on, I'm getting more and more set on wanting to give my son a magic and stuff, and specifically shrinking abilities, because I love that perspective so much. Yeah, no, it's a lot of fun, you know, being able to tease friends and just being like, you know, to some degree, that's like, I'm like, you know, Starkey is very much science coded, so like, you know, there is that aspect where, like, you know, you can kind of get away with making stuff up through sci-fi. Yeah, the shrink ray. And then, like, for one of my side sonas, I like the idea of, like, you know, more magic, or like, that's when I turn my bird into a prude, and that and a pool toy. I actually had an idea for, like, another not safe for work sona, which was going to be like a gummy shark with the skull mask. I need to, like, figure out how to draw that. Ooh, gummy shark. Yeah. This is like a charming little, like, you know, chiptune thing. Minotaur March is around the corner. I suppose that is a good point, actually. Macro and Minotaur March. This is a very train song. It really is. One day, when I get a PC again, I will learn how to use Blender, and I'll gift you a Bara Starky model. I mean, I already have a Bara Starky model. Also, I mean, you've got a plenty of resources. The community of 3D, like the furs who know how to use 3D like modeling software, are very eager to have others join them. I assume because it's you know. I assume by like kind of the principle that suffering shared is suffering halved. I cannot learn it now because the laptop is shit. Understandable. Think of the hydrate and the stretch and the save. To be honest with you, I need to like. I actually need to talk to someone that I'd casually like mentioned wanting to get a new, because like they have experience working with model bases, and I was like, hey, do you know, like could you work on, because I still want to add the like the TF redeem for like for the 3D models as well. Okay, so part of why this looks weird is because the underlying, you know, like this doesn't have much going on with it. Whoa, welcome to the show. Let everybody know I'm not taking the game. I wake out of the chains. Welcome on, Spout. Can we just show over Spout? This is my poem, so drink it up, my friend. Ooh. Story is my truth. I have no idea how the fuck they hit those. Find myself on track. I broke the code. Whoa, like Ammonites. I just gave it some time. Now I found paradise. How's the art going? It's going all right, I think. I'm currently trying to remember / figure out how to render. Seeing them hit these lives is incredible. I'm currently drawing a Hrothgar, as a gift piece of sorts. So I'm currently rendering is slow going, but I think I'm figuring it out as time goes on. I went to hell and back to find myself on track. I broke the code, whoa, like Ammonites. I just gave it some time. Hrothgars are amazing. They really are. It's like, if there is one thing that could convince me to play Final Fantasy, is like it would probably be the Hrothgars. Also, his outfits on the music video. Oh, absolutely. They absolutely rock the full gambit of gender, and I love that for them. It's looking good. Thank you. I feel to some degree like you know, there are times where I'm like, am I making progress as an artist? And this is one of those times where I feel like I actually I can see the progress I'm making. So like it is nice when that happens. Actually, hold up a moment. Because this is also cloth. So like I can do the same cloth rendering that I'm doing. Because actually that might be a wise way of going about it. Starky, my cat is sabotaging me. Oh no, what are they doing? That might be a smart way of going about like how to handle rendering is doing it by material type. I just want to finish this bathhouse piece. But no, like doing it by material type actually seems like a smart way to handle rendering. Because, you know, you got cloth, fur, skin, you know. Is this Danganronpa? But no, hopefully you're doing well, Spout. Sorry if I'm able to. I want to stop by more. I guess to be fair, it's like I stop by a ton. I just like usually by the time you're streaming, I have like my social battery is like kind of emptied out. So no, as soon as the organ kicked in, I'm like, this is not Danganronpa. Shin Megami Tensei does sound right though. The MMO. Because, like, I really do struggle with MMOs in terms of, like, getting into them. Shin Megami Tensei had an MMO for a while. Because they end up just being, like, they're very, very daunting. Went to get my blood drawn, took a nap since it was a lot, and that's fair. I always stream really for a lot of peeps, plus streaming is already a lot of socializing. Yeah, which is why I'm like, you know, I'm always happy to chill there because you're, you know, for how chaotic your redeems can be, it's like it's very reminiscent of like Jal, but like less overwhelming. Which like I do also I need to lurk more in Jal streams as well. There's so many people I want to support. It's to some degree, it's like, you know, it is like a, you know, first world problem, but no, an actual one. Okay, go ahead and add those. The song's a bop. Boy, do I know the feeling. Which is why I'm just like, you know. I'm like, as I'm looking at this, I'm like, okay. This one might actually need to be its kind of its own layer. Because I'm like, this is probably gonna be like this is probably gonna need to be like an ad layer or like a. Well, that ended very suddenly. I thought that fucking jump scare ass like song ending. Jesus. Okay. Let's see, layer mask, mask outside selection, normal type, darken. I am learning how to use this software more. There was actually like a really, really handy GIF that explained like what the various layer types were. Is the poor guy okay? He's turning blue. I think that's just like a face paint. Welcome on, David Winlow. Glad to have you sleeping. I think it's a face paint because the character reference is based on Final Fantasy XIV, which like apparently this bandana is like a specific Final Fantasy XIV item. So like I assume it's just like a face paint style thing going on. All right. Fuck, Starky, you should do more pinups. I mean, I might. I won't lie, like, I feel like I have made enough progress as an artist where, like, there is, like, I feel like there is, like, the genuine, like, you know, in the same way that it's, like, it's extremely validating to have people make horny comments about the art I'm making. It's scary as a prospect because I'm like, you know, if there are no, if it's not like people are gonna like tell me if it's not like attractive, and it's like I feel like it's you know it's like to some degree that fear of being like, you know, I don't want to like make something for someone else, especially someone else where I'm like it just looks weird and like, you know, kind of not cohesive. Those nips though, we need more for us on Twitch. Not afraid to draw more bulge, don't you think? I mean, okay, here's the thing. I understand why. I am glad though that the nipples are compelling looking at least, because that's the first time I've ever drawn them. Right, it's around the sweaty short and pits. I need to do the sweaty shirt and pits. But no, it's like you know, it is. I feel like I now have like the level of anatomy knowledge where like I can start making stuff that like is you know with the purpose of being attractive / hot, and then like you know everything has kind of been building up to like this level of artistic progress. Which isn't to say that like you know I have so much fucking learning to do. You know, my aim for these has always been like I want to look at my previous pieces and be like, what the fuck was I thinking? I'm gonna hug and kiss a certain furry streamer. But no, like I don't blame furry streamers for not drawing, you know, bulge or like showing off whatever on Twitch. Unfortunately, is extremely inconsistent in its moderation, which means that like you are basically running the gamble anytime you like you're doing something that might dubiously be in the TOS, and they like that is like by intention. They actively go out of their way to make you know to make the terms of service is as kind of as vague as they legally can get away with, because like in that way they can like in that way they can get away with like you know not necessarily being super consistent in enforcement. Hence why, you know, that there's just there's some weird shit that happens on Twitch, like the live birth that happened on Twitch was fucking wild. That was a thing that happened, and then like it just kind of got dropped. Excuse me? Yeah, there was a live birth that happened on Twitch on the front page even. And the CEO of Twitch, Dan Clancy, showed up in that stream and was like, "You're doing great, sweetie." So like it was one of those things where it's like they didn't actually show like any, you know, any of the bits, but like they basically put her behind a sheet. And it's one of those things where it's like I feel like if you're banning people for showing nipples, even like implied birthing is real fucking weird to allow on Twitch. You know, like the constant battle against the feminine nipples, but live birthing on Twitch is fine, I guess. I don't know. I'm gay. Maybe this is an extremely esoteric. I mean, the answer is it is definitely someone's kink. The easy out is to do the nipples off screen. Yeah. Double standards? Oh, for sure. There is a very well and I think that's the thing. It's like there's like a very noticeable like double standard in regards to like them enforcing the rules against especially bigger streamers. There is a relatively big lady streamer who was caught live on stream sexually assaulting a guy and she only got like a week-long suspension. Like full force sexual assault, the person who experienced it was like, this is sexual assault. She is being actively sued for committing sexual assault, and Twitch hasn't banned her. Huh? But no, God forbid you draw a single penis. Excuse me, what? Yeah. I might be getting some of the details wrong. I will acknowledge that. But like, it is one of those things where like definitely the part that definitely sticks out in my mind is the recorded actual sexual assault that happened. And the fact that she was not permanently banned. It very clearly did not show any remorse for it. Because she was constantly being like, I don't give a fuck. And we're like, okay, cool. You're so edgy. And I don't know. So like, she's like, of course she's a big name. So like, of course, they're not actually going to ban her because that's bad for the website. Even though they're constantly worried about the ads and like, I guess that's, they're like, oh, we got to make sure that stuff is ad friendly. Except for when it comes to the big names who almost certainly play more ads than I do. Some people are too popular to be punished by other sites. Looking at a certain YouTuber doxed another large YouTuber. Ah, yes. SSS Sniper Wolf. Famously very well put together and definitely not psychopathic person. Sniper Wolf. I feel like at that point, I feel like there should be legal recourse to be like, hey, this person is putting my life meaningfully in danger. For, like, just sue them, throw them in jail, whatever. I bet also the justice system doesn't actually punish the rich, so. That's gonna be a skip. This is a skip. Where the fuck is... There it is. What? What is this song? This is from Eugenics. But no, like that is kind of shit we will skip. Oh, that was art. Protect queer art, I guess. Yeah. But no, I'll be honest with you. I probably won't be playing Eugenics at any point. I do like Edmund's stuff, but like, I thought of a fucked up poll I could make. But like, I do like Edmund's stuff, but like, it. I don't know. My that's not to throw shade against anyone who is playing Eugenics. It's just like my personal comfort level thing where I'm like, that exceeds it. I think that's the kind of the thing. It's like, oh, I've been playing Eugenics. It like, I think the internet has like broken some people fundamentally because like, I definitely have heard, it's like the bean soup situation where it's like some people don't recognize that maybe some shit out there on the internet isn't for them. And I feel like me being like, oh, hey, I appreciate people who like Eugenics. It's not my speed. Like that I think that's like the reasonable reaction. And then you got people who are being like, actually this existing on the internet is a problem for me personally. And then they make that everyone else's problem. Which one? Which of the two Paul brothers is more tolerable of the two? Yeah, I would rather die than vote. Eugenics can be a lot sometimes. Yeah. And I mean, that's the thing. It's like, it is like very much still in its Newground sensibilities. And I think like to some degree, like that is, people who remember fondly the Newgrounds days, they could use a reminder to be like, hey, so Newgrounds was great, but also there was a reason that we kind of moved on as a society. I presume eugenics primarily relies on shock humor. I mean, yeah, but that is Edmund Macmillan's kind of brand, you know. It's the equivalent of like it would be like if someone went to like a Carrot Top show and was like, why was all of it prop humor? Where were the actual jokes that didn't rely on having a prop on hand? And it's like, motherfucker, you know whose show you went to. You know? There was the post that like kind of made the round somewhat of like, why the fuck are you going to Home Depot for a milkshake? He would. Edmund Macmillan was like one of the major, like, arguably the guy behind the Binding of Isaac, because he like, I don't know if he made it solo, but he definitely made Binding of Isaac, like the original one, primarily like as a solo dev. I think he had Danny Baranowski make the music, but like the art and the coding, I believe, was more his speed. It's like going to Cirque du Soleil for calm and not wild. Yeah, exactly. It's like you're fundamentally, it's like you're not. I think it's like to some degree it's the people who have gotten too comfortable with the algorithm making like every choice for them, where like they know, like they've forgotten the fact that they are an active participant in their own like engagement in like media diet, you know. And like those people, I'm gonna be honest with you, are kind of insufferable. I tend to be very much like a live and let live kind of person, but like anyone who's like a very like prognostic, like, oh, like this is the only way media can be, I intrinsically like, I'm not a fan of those individuals. But no, I'm sincerely glad that Mugenics came out, and I'm glad a lot of people are having fun playing Mugenics. Because like that definitely it definitely seems like a fun game. What's going on with this layer? Nothing? Nothing. Perfect. By process of elimination from a singular person willing to vote, Jake Paul is the more bearable of the Paul brothers. To be fair, it was really funny. Like watching the because so there's this YouTuber named Super Eye Patch Wolf who did like an analysis of like Logan Paul is the one who does boxing, right? I'll be honest with you, I don't give a shit. The two are equally insufferable, so I do not bother remembering which one of them does what. In my mind, they are basically one single unit of suck. And like that's probably not fair, but like I'll be honest with you, I do not have the fucking patience to engage with whatever bullshit they're doing. Logan Paul is the one that had the funny time in the. Okay, so Logan Paul was the one that's banned from Japan. The thing is, they're brothers, so I like, because I know they're like they both have blonde hair, and which one of them is the boxer? Damn it! I think it's Logan. Hold up, let me look at the super eye patch. Regular eye patch wolf. Because that's his YouTube channel where he talks about random stuff. Logan? Yes. He did so after the fight between Logan Paul and Mike Tyson. He did a video where he like broke down like what Logan Paul was doing, and basically he was grabbing exclusively fighters who were like past their prime or who were like specializing in things that weren't boxing. Like he would grab MMA fighters and put them in a boxing match, which is a bit like grabbing, you know, it's like grabbing a fucking like like an intercontinental ballistic missile and having it destroy like a single, you know, like putting it in a competition of efficiency against a pistol. It's like it can do more damage when it isn't restricted, but like the, you know, it's the wrong tool for the job. And so like, you know, that analysis was posted, and then in the most recent fight, God bless, I love so much the footage of that fight. Like I love, hold up, let me see if because the guy he was fighting, the alleged bribes that it's unlikely that actually happened. At the very least, they were probably paid to be on, but they probably weren't bribed to lose. He just went out of his way to get like specifically people who were clearly past their prime, where it was a very, very low shot that he would actually like lose. It's the equivalent of like, to put it in like chess terms, imagine if you got like, you know, someone like you play chess, you're like, you know, probably like 2000, which is good, but you're not like grandmaster level. And then you got a former grandmaster, got him like fucking like giga drunk, and then had like played him. Like that's the equivalent of what he was doing, but in boxing terms. Where's the punch? Please tell me. I need to find this. I need to find the look on his face. There's a look of utter joy on the face of his opponent as he's punching him out. It was against Joshua. Oh no, it's slowed. We skipped over the Toad. I skipped the Toad Choir. Because, listen, I need to set a precedent, because otherwise people will put in a bunch of dumb shit. Where's the fucking... Hold on, I might be able to find it on, I might be able to find it on Blue Sky. Because there was definitely... I saw it on Blue Sky, and it was really fucking funny. It was just, like, the joy on his face. Like, kicking the shit out of an insufferable jackass. Share? I'm looking. When was it? It was earlier. Was it earlier this year? Or was it the end of last year? What is the passage of time? Oh, here it is. Here it is. I found it. I love this shot so much. Just look at the sheer pure joy on Joshua's face as he's just raring to beat the shit out of Logan. I feel bad for the guy. He's become insufferable for his fame, got hurt real bad, and continues to accumulate injury for fame. He could fix it at any point by going to fucking therapy. Like, the dude has issues. We've been like, the internet has told him he has issues. He could go to therapy about his issues. At this point, it's all on him. This guy. So this is what happens when Logan fights an actual fucking boxer. Like, Joshua's really, really good, but he's like not. He's not like the like cream of the crop as far as I'm aware. He's like a middle of the road boxer, which is really good given the fact that he doesn't have like the funding to like live his entire life around boxing, and like, you know, that's Jake fighting AJ. Is it AJ? I can never remember. This was 2 months ago. Yeah, it's Joshua. Like, this man is thriving in this moment. But no, like, Jake is like shit. Whichever Paul brother isn't actually a good boxer. He's a good boxer, but he's not a professional. And it's actually funny because, like, if you watch the fight, it's so clear how like they were trying to set it up by like the ring that they were fighting in was fucking huge. He was clearly trying to set it up so that way he could like you know, just run away the entire time. And no, he got cornered and immediately got the shit kicked out of him and his jaw broken. Jake's like Cartman getting his ass kicked by Wendy Testerberger. I think since this fight, that boxer has gotten more exposure. I hope so. Wait, kicking in boxing? The shit kicked out of him, like as a euphemistic, like a euphemistic saying like, hey, he got pummeled quite heavily. I like how casually fucking Cupcake has been happening in the background. I've just grown so numb to Cupcake that like it doesn't even fucking register anymore. You know what, Starky, you've been good. You can have one epically musical song in the queue. Which one do you want? I mean, you choose. But no, like that entire fucking it was really funny, like, you know. Because, like, Super Fetch Wolf made a video about it, like, after the Tyson fight, because people were mad about it. And then, thank you, Cupcake. I will allow Hose Depressed. I also probably need to, like, look at, how long is the queue going? I wish it should be like the total. 2, 5, 8, 10, 14, 17, 21, 23, 26. Okay, we got like another half an hour worth of music we can play. Okay. Mask outside selection. Oh, the scroll of Icarian flight. I wonder what that do. Ah, basically. Okay. I'm fucking stupid. I keep being on the masking layer. Ah, Morrowind. I have never played an Elder Scrolls game to completion. That was... Hey, Bikubot, why did you suddenly... Oh, did Bikubot crash? Is Bikubot crashing? It just, like, weirdly popped up and covered my entire fucking monitor. That was bizarre.
Wretch, wretch, we're the wretch.
Starky, do you like Mudkip?
That is such an old meme. Starky Ducks has a racing game. That is very good information. Ducks, plastic ducks. Almost forgot to check in. Yeah, you don't want to forget to check in. It's very important. It literally could not possibly matter less, but oh, Hazel, come on in. Oh shoot! Hold on, I gotta pause the music. Oh, I have way too many windows open. What the fuck? Welcome on in there, Raiders. Good to have ya. For those who don't know, I'm StarkyMorph, Big A Chaos Curly Internet. Variety streamer live every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. Over the last 2 years, I've been learning some art. So if you if you like to see more of this, I I stream art every Mondays and Fridays now. But welcome on in. What were you also working on art? Yes, you were. Awesome. If you've not already seen, Hazel's a absolutely spectacular artist, specializing in TF, but you know, very, very capable of drawing just about anything. So if you somehow have not already seen Hazel's stuff, I highly recommend it. The amount of anatomy knowledge that goes into drawing TF is absolutely it's absolutely it's honestly, it kind of scares me, where I'm just trying to learn like general anatomy at the moment, like specifically like, you know, humanoid, but like the idea of like, you know, needing to learn enough of like quadrupedal. Is that how that's pronounced? Quadruped? Yeah, just go quadruped anatomy. Where I'm like, anatomy is complicated but super interesting. Oh, for sure. Welcome on in though. If you gotta like raid and run, I completely understand it. Thank you for bringing it over. Thank you for trusting your community here. We are mostly just chilling and working on art though. Oh, is that Krim? I see. Yeah. Krim was very, very sweet and ended up being very, very supportive at the end of last year. So I'm making a sort of gift. I've been putting a ton of effort into. But yeah. I'm glad that he's like immediately recognizable. I see pits. I won't lie. This is my first time drawing something that like is a my first time trying to go for something that's like not horny but like suggestive and like what the suggestive and more like adult-esque, where I'm like, you know, I've been like too apprehensive, but I am sincerely the amount of comments I've gotten regarding like, you know, the sweatiness and the pits has like actually been a huge confidence booster. How long have you been drawing? About 2 years. I made a ton of progress because like I literally have like my first thing save, which I bring out on occasion to jump scare myself. So like you know, I started working about, let's see, this was I made this was like one of the first things I ever drew on stream. Oh my merciful God, I didn't know anything back then. Oh my God, it's such an eye reset. But no, like because I had a little bit of experience. That is incredible progress in 2 years. I mean, learning how to use like the technology better definitely helped. And you know, I just like, to some degree I feel like a little bad when I do art on stream, because it's a really, really good motivator to do art is streaming. But I also like, I sometimes get so into it that like I don't end up like interacting with chat. But like there are people who like genuinely enjoy the like kind of chill vibes. Is it bad that I'm looking at all the anatomy knowledge required for drawing TF and being like, yeah, I can learn that? No, here's the thing. You can 100% learn it. Like, I never thought I would get to the level of like, you know, muscular knowledge where I would be able to draw this. Oh Lord, I just noticed an error that I'm probably gonna have to resolve. It's fine. But no, like this was absolutely beyond my like comprehension when I first started, and it like the process of being consistent does a lot in terms of like helping you kind of like figure out something. And like, you know, I'm still very much like, you know, it's the artist thing where like I still see how far I have left to go, where I'm like, I'm never satisfied. And I think like I think that's like, honestly, you know, I feel like the instant you start getting like consistently satisfied with your art is like the instant you stop growing as an artist. Like you constantly kind of got to be pushing yourself. And like that's kind of why I'm like, this is actually the first piece I've drawn where I didn't draw the full hands. I as much as it sucks, I go out of my way to draw hands. Like I specifically compose things in a way where like the hand will be visible. Because like I know that that's a skill I'm gonna have to use a lot, you know, when I'm working on other pieces. This is a dirty secret. You're never satisfied. My favorite piece is always the next one I'm working on. That's such a good way of putting it. Because it's like, you know, like it's so easy to see, like, I think as an artist, you're programmed to see your own mistakes. So is this, yeah, this is someone else's OC. Welcome on, Hyrian. Hiren? I'm probably misspeaking that. But yeah, I think it's like, you know, my friend who got me into art was like, you only ever finish about 70% of a piece. And I was like, that's ridiculous. What do you mean? And then I started doing art and I realized I'd made so many mistakes that it was just easier for me to start fresh than to like, you know, than to like go through and fix every single one of them. And it suddenly, like, it made sense. I was like, oh, you know, it's not... Goodness gracious, who put in Kitchen Gun? 3 big shots from Kitchen Gun. Welcome on inside. I'm glad I get Sweet Bean. But it's like, you know, you get so like all you ever end up seeing are the mistakes. And like, you know, I think it's also like kind of why posting art can be a little daunting for me, because I'm like so hyper cognizant of the, that'd be me. You did this to us. You did this to us. Welcome on in, Jaren. Glad to have you, Sweet Bean. Hold up, because I mean, yeah, most of the time I feel like even the pieces I don't like, there should be at least a few aspects. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, to some degree, it a lot of times it's easy to think of the negative, but like also, even in the pieces you don't like, you know, like jump scaring myself again, like, you know, for a first piece, I at least got like decent-ish proportions. Which isn't something I always do, funnily enough. Like that, I definitely have grown as an artist, but it's also like easy for me to like get lost in like my growth and not remember the overarching structure. The point of view piece I did of Starky is my background right now. I think the big thing when it comes to like posting art is like I have to remind myself that like the only person who's going to care about my mistakes is me. Like because there will be people who are like. Also coming on Dog Toy. They're like, you know, it's the internet, so people will make their opinions heard even if they aren't welcome. I can say that from like, you know, some amount of firsthand experience, but also like, you know, it's still better to share this kind of stuff. In my experience. Are you on the right layer though? Yes. Because I realized that there was like a slight mistake I needed to resolve here. Actually, hold up. And I'm trying to like also get like the you know, the kind of like the texture here. I'm about to crash, I'm not gonna lie. I don't think I've ever been satisfied as being a specific level in art. There's always something that I think I should improve on. Yeah. And I think like it to some degree, I think that's like, if you ever do find yourself satisfied, like that's the moment you should be looking for like critique. Like look for critique, look for you know, or like try to understand, like, because like being an artist has also made me understand other art styles even more, where like I looked at them and I was like, this is great, and then now, like, you know, having developed my own artistic skills a little bit, I can now look at that and be like, wow, there was so much going on here that I wasn't even appreciating. Advice I should take to heart. As a character voiced by John DiMaggio said, sucking at something is the first step towards being... Yeah. It's like... There's the comic that made the rounds a while back of like the gap between starting something and being good at it. Tenacious Doof, thank you for the follow. Welcome to live chat. The gap between like starting something and getting good at it, the best way to fill it is genuinely just being confidently, like, not confidently, just being like okay with it being cringe. You know? I've said it a couple of times, but I genuinely think like the single most useful skill for learning art, and probably any other skill, is just pain tolerance. is the ability to look at what you're making, and no matter how much it hurts, keep going, because it only like it's never going to be like a perfect upwards, but as time goes on, you're only set to improve. The you from a year from now will only be better than the you from now. And the you from 2 years from now will be better than you from a year from now. Some days I really like to trust the process. God knows I have those days. I tell my students that all the time. It's just frustration tolerance. It really is. And like, trust me, arts, I feel like arts, like, you know, I think it's like, in part because art is like such a self-expression thing. It's like, okay, child psychology thing. Like the reason the terrible twos exist is because kids have an understanding of the world, but they don't know how to express themselves. Imagine if you couldn't speak, like you couldn't express the thoughts in your head to someone. It's understandably frustrating. And I think that is the case with every skill, and especially skills that are about self-expression, which is why like art is such a like frustrating experience, is because, you know, no matter how frivolous a piece may seem, there is some amount of conversation that's that's trying to happen. And if your ability to understand and appreciate the world outpaces your ability to express that, you're naturally going to be a little upset. But like, as time goes on and you keep practicing, it does get easier. As a teacher, it bothers me when we do not teach students frustration tolerance these days. Yeah, I would argue that's like probably like one of the most like frustration tolerance and critical thinking, I think, are like the two things that we should teach like every kid. My biggest issue is dealing with inertia. Like in terms of like, you know, getting back to it if you take a break. I definitely get that with streams, where like if I take any amount of time off from streaming, like if I take a week off, I come back and I'm like, I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing. And the opposite is kind of true, where it's like it's hard for me to feel confident taking time off because I'm like, I don't want to fall out of practice. Or they don't try and bend something unless you are standing in front of them telling them to do it themselves. Yeah, I mean, these are, I would say, like pretty vital skills. That was me after MFF. I ended my subathon, took a week off, came back and forgot how to do everything. It really is like, you know, you're just like, oh, just start the stream. It's like it really isn't that simple, because there's so much of like streaming, I think, is like is some amount of a practice in improv, you know? It's a practice of improv and like engaging with a conversation while doing something else. When I get stuck on a task, the bigger the problem, the harder to start to overcome it. My biggest problem is starting something. That's fair. Like, I think that's like to some degree, the advice of like just break it down into smaller components is like kind of kitschy and something I'm not the hugest fan of, but like that is unironically like a moment for that, where it's like, okay, because I feel like it's like it is advice that is overused to the point of like uselessness. What do I do is where do I go to do a song request? It's !SR and then a YouTube link or YouTube search term in the chat. It doesn't help that I keep spending my time on others rather than myself. Yeah, that's also like a meaningful, a meaningful concern and something that, probably should be investigated. Um, in terms of like, feeling like you're able to enjoy the time that you're spending making a thing. Because God knows, like, part of the motivation for me to learn art was like I had so many ideas for art that I wanted to get commissioned, but I just didn't have the like resources to commission all of the artists that I wanted. So like I to some degree I'm supplementing that with my own, I'm supplementing some amount of that with my own art. Like I kind of want to give my hand at character design another like I want to give another shot at that to see if let's see if maybe the second time around it's a little bit easier. Anywho, the lighting is wondrous here. I'm trying my best. The lighting isn't quite everything that I'm hoping it is, but it is like it is going relatively okay. Hold up, I could. Okay. I'm probably just gonna do a simple background for this. I want to try to get this done today, which means I have another 45 minutes, which should be feasible. Oh, cool. I've slightly biffed it. You see, the problem is, I was mostly following the advice that I had received earlier on, where it's like you want to start with when it comes to like rendering things, you want to start with the darker layers and then add the lighter on top. But then I fucked it up there. This is actually looking not bad. What is this song? Bee Swarm Simulator OST drone. There's a bee swarm simulator. I know there's Ivy Comb. I think he's like he's like the resident well-known bee Sona haver. I'm not. I'll be honest with you. When it comes to like certain Vig's names, I am very clueless. I know that he's one of the bigger names in the furry streamer sphere. This game's OST helps me turn my brain off while grinding. It is kind of just like it's just kind of like funky. It's funky, but like, it like it activates the neurons, but it doesn't like, you know, it doesn't like require their attention. No. Okay. We're getting somewhere. It is... This is like a, you know... There is an amount of this that is just like basically trial and error. Is your favorite Mob Psycho side character? That's a good question. Oh, I feel like I should probably have an answer. I really like it. I feel like y'all are gonna give me shit for being predictable, but it's not for the reasons that like I think I like the lifting club members the most, and it's just because like they are so positive and helpful throughout the entire series. Where I'm like, you know, I knew it. Not gonna lie. See, here's the fucking thing. I was specifically, I was like, y'all are gonna give me shit for, because I like big, beefy, muscular men. But it's not the, they're teenagers. It's not the reason I enjoy the, like,
have guessed?
It, like, they are very much like team and friendship coded, and I appreciate them. They are like a breath of fresh air in what can otherwise be like, not necessarily overtly cynical, but like, you know, you like beefy men. Yeah, it's I like them for wholesome reasons. If you like them for other reasons, well, canceled redeem. That's probably highlights. Okay. Can you actually rant about the changing VAs for the dubbed Mob Psycho to avoid dealing with unions? Yeah, I don't know enough about that topic, unfortunately. I'm like vaguely aware of it, but like I feel like I would need to like do additional research in order to do that one justice. And it would be like it's like actively unwise to discuss on a like serious issue like that without like without proper information, because misinformation is like, you know, misinformation in regards to like forming an arguments. I mean, like I feel like most people here are like self-evident, you know. Anti-union behavior is bullshit, and the dubbing studio should actually be ashamed of itself. A rant about capitalism and union busting attitudes. All right, y'all who this is your first time here are in for a treat. Let me pause the music real quick. You know, the one thing that capitalism has to meaningfully face in its day-to-day struggles to oppress the individual is the, collective power of individuals who work in a, in the same sphere. And it is important for those individuals to be given the opportunity to collaborate, to make sure that all of them are being treated fairly, that all of them are being equally respected, just due to the intrinsic value of the work that they're creating. And of course, capitalists, being the flesh sacks that they are, devoid of any human empathy or understanding, would want to disrupt that to make sure that profits are ever growing, that each quarter is bigger than the next. And, you know, as such, capitalists suck. Go unions. All right, there you go. Check complaining about capitalism off your bingo card. Okay. To some degree, I am getting hit a little bit with the like this doesn't necessarily look amazing right now, and I have to hit myself with a reminder of the like trust the process. Because funnily enough, trust the process applies just as much to artists as it does to the people who are getting the commissions. Arguably more so, because like artists have to experience the piece in the entire process, and so like you know trust in the process is very important for an artist. I should probably actually also keep an eye on how long the queue is. So, how much do you trust a song request from me? Very little. All right, let me do the math real quick on how long we got. Okay, it's Don't Stop Girly Pop. That's fine. Heck yeah, I love Epic the Musical. I've got the entire soundtrack. Like, I've learned every single song. We're so close, we just keep pushing forward. Let's see. 2, 4, 7, 11, 15, 17, 20, 22. Okay. We got like a 10 more minutes. Can I request that we end this song? Not a song I've been trying to add but can't. Go for it. I know I went to the ER recently, but should I put Mayo and Monster? How much do you care about your insurance premiums? Yeah. I think it's just like the line style doesn't necessarily click super well with like incredibly detailed rendering. At least not the way that I currently do my lining. There's probably like some amount of like I you know, I can learn to like line in a way that's more conducive to the you've clearly out freaking me have the Crown King. I mean, okay, the mayonnaise thing, as much as I will never understand it, is a recurrent bit. It kind of scares me. Which is why I don't engage. Honey, honey, that's a bit. That's not a bit that's sincere. Okay, yes, but like, how the fuck do I explain to new people that one of my moderators' weird obsession with mayonnaise outside of explaining it as a bit? They need to be here for a bit to understand that Kasai is being sincere. Here, I was thinking my love for mayo on popcorn was weird. I mean, it is weird. I'll be honest with you. Any sauce on popcorn, any like wet sauce on popcorn is intrinsically you know. The most non-evil. Oh, Z. Welcome to Z Gargoyle. Glad to have you, sweet bean. The most non-evil Durg. That's a that's a slightly concerning title, shall we say. Okay, this is a meme, but unironically, this is a banger. I listened to this shit a ton in college. I would play fucking Overwatch while listen to this. I might be cooking too hard. I'm like, you know. How old are you? Old enough where it took me a minute. I'm 28. If you don't mind me asking. I tend to be pretty open about it. Grandpa, shut the fuck up. I am not old. Oh my god. Prison. Jail. Jail! I'm stealing your identity now? Shut the fuck up. I'm like 35. Yeah, here's the thing. It's like because you know I'm used to being like I didn't really have any friends when I was a kid. I ended up like kind of borrowing my older siblings' friends, and my older siblings are they're like 6-ish years older than me. So like I naturally like by the time I was in elementary school, most of my friends were like middle schoolers slash early high schoolers. So like it's weird for me to be the one that's like called old. I'm turning 27 soon. You are but small child. I didn't have any friends growing up either. Yeah. Gotta love the joys of rural Indiana. Shit, I didn't even know I was gay until high school, where I was in like suburban Indiana, which is slightly better, but not by much. I think it's like... My oldest brother is like 5 years older than me. My brother, I have 3 brothers, including a twin. Goodness gracious. It seems like a lot to keep track of. I don't know, like I try my best to keep track of birthdays, but I am not good at it by any means. Oh God. We are reaching the limits of Clip Studio Paint's patience, because it just hit me with the fucking auto recovery system. Happy birthmas. With 14 nieces or nephews, I've long since lost track of birthdays. That's honestly, at that point, that's understandable. At that point, it's like I feel like it's unreasonable to expect you to remember every single birthday. I only have like one nephew to keep track of, and I'll be honest with you, I don't know his birthday. I'm not a great gunkle. My response being called Unk is to go, you want to bestow this power upon me. I mean, listen, I got called fucking... Like, I think the first time I got called daddy, I was like fucking 25. So like, it's definitely, you know, at some point it is, you know, a state of being. You're not uncle-maxing. Okay, everything else is good except for, I just need to work on the face now. Almost all my siblings have kids, so I get called uncle a lot. Yeah. I mean, the good news is you can just like, like, you know, you can just like send them, you know, send them to their room if they're being little shits. Alrighty. Everything else is rendered except for, oh god. Rendering the face paint is gonna be a nightmare. But, I mean, there's one way through. It was nice seeing you the other day, Starky. You're a cool bean. Hey, I'm glad I got the chance to interact with you. It was a lot of fun hanging out at March's birthday. Let's see. Hide all of this rendering. Nope, that's line art. Okay. Just gotta do it. Yeah. There's no way past but through. It won't get done. It won't get done if I'm afraid of it. Honestly, that's so real, actually. The thing is, I'm gonna probably have to do like the eyes, because the eyes are probably gonna be like part of the like the detailing where I needed to like add a bunch of specific highlights. All right. So, sometimes the only way out is through. Yeah, that tends to be like my look towards it. Is like what I'm probably gonna end up doing is I'm probably just gonna use like a layer shader, just like instead of basically like make this a layer, but instead of making it a you know, and lo and behold, it was faster to restart with the new system than to fix the old system. It really do be like that sometimes. That was actually like we were talking about that earlier. It's like sometimes at some point it becomes easier to just here darken, lower the opacity so that way it doesn't like giga fry everything. Let's see. Ba-ba-da-da-da. Okay, so you want to use warmer colors when you're shading. You want to use warmer colors when you're shading something dark, like something cold. Nope, that's not right at all. Okay, I was on the wrong. I was selecting the wrong thing. Create my first ad hoc text-based database. Ooh, interesting. Got to work tomorrow, and part of me doesn't want to go to bed because it's like fast traveling to the commute, but I am tired. You probably should like get rest before your workday. You know, by no means am I like am I your dad, but like, you know, it seems like the kind of thing you probably don't want to, you know, fuck around with and find out. Let's see. Nope, that's not how that's supposed to work. Alrighty. There's like so much to keep track of in rendering. And I'm sure like to some degree you know, it is one of those things where it's like there is an amount of like learning that needs to come with you know, understanding better how to use the software. So just don't trust Marms with the fate of the world if Monokuma's involved. Yeah, no, that seems like a reasonable you know, rule to have. Why is this so quiet?
God damn it! Leo! What the hell are you doing? Leo! 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 God damn it! God damn it! God damn it! God damn it!
That mono bussy got me acting up. Jail! I need to add that as a sound effect. I really should. Well, where's that from? That audio is from Ghost Story, the Ghost Story dub. But the reason it's here is because Marsh and I played Echo way back when, and I just never removed it. And if you've played Echo, you know why that audio is relevant. You understand. You know the pain. Okay, so we need to, this is gonna be the, like, because this is gonna need to handle the line art. Ghost Story dub is fucking phenomenal. I cannot recommend it to a modern audience, though. Oh, for sure. No, it is aged incredibly poorly. It is aged incredibly poorly by, like, modern standards. Is this fucking Imagine Dragons? Not to roast anyone's taste. Okay, it's not. It's apparently the score. Oh, what is wrong with my... It's very reminiscent of Imagine Dragons. not to roast. I was just like this is giving huge that energy. Okay. Maybe you can hear the inspiration, maybe even some Pompeii. Sounds like music from a father figure who you didn't have a father figure. Oh my god. But no, like, it's not bad. It just, like, kind of caught me off guard. I think in part because there's such a history of fucking, like, people post Imagine Dragons music here all the time to meme. So, like, it caught me off guard where I was like, what? Hold up, what? I'm susceptible. I okay. This is gonna be blended a little bit, so. Let's grab the blending tool. Decrease it significantly in size. Okay. And now we just need to add the highlights to the eyes. So you kind of have to do the same thing to the eyes. Which I'm realizing I've kind of fucked myself because I chose like a very, very dark black. So I have to like Okay. Oh, I also need to do that with the shading here. Which view is the... There you go. What the This is AI? Okay, thank you for the heads up. This is, at least this one. This one very much is not, because the Don't Stop Girly Pop OST is actually a banger. At least I hope it's not. That'd be extremely disappointing. I like how, like, as I was watching Jame play this game, the demo for this game, and the entire time he was just like, yeah, this is just Ultra Kill but for the gays. And I'm like, motherfucker, have you seen the average Ultra Kill player? Me. Ultra Kill is also for the gays. A copy of Ultra Kill came with my fruit license. Also, I'm extremely excited because we're finally getting fraud next week. We're finally getting the next layer of hell, and I'm very, very excited about that fact. The Hakita was on hiatus for a bit because I think I can't remember if his cat died or if it was a family member, but equally, like, you know, like a human family member. I feel like either Starkey is dodging my message or he keeps missing it. It's realistically I keep missing it. I really need to complain about these butt pills I was prescribed. Because you say they're a pain in the ass. You can laugh now. No, you're lucky it could be either. But no, thank you for hanging out, Guaco. Have a wonderful evening. Thank you for stopping by. Also, we're about to run our last set of 10-minute ads. We're in those every hour to turn off prills, but we don't deal with the ads as soon as they join the stream. Feel free to go grab a snack or grab some hydration. And we will be here when you come back. I actually might be going along because I do want to finish this. To be fair, we don't have a whole lot left to do. Here. Good luck with the final polish. Be proud of it. Yeah. I am relatively happy with how this has turned out. Layer mask selection, mask outside selection. Oh God, wait, I just realized I've not done any rendering on this. All right, so there's some stuff we still got to touch. I was so busy focusing on the upper body that I didn't notice how bad the lower body now looked for lack of attention. You ever something that a fellow furry covered? As a note, we probably won't necessarily. I will be probably picking back up this queue when we return to art on Friday, but I don't necessarily know that I'll be able to get through all of the queue tonight. Was I on the wrong layer that entire time? I was. I'm very good at art. I'm definitely. You really are? I mean, I was saying that sarcastically, but uh no. Oh God, I was so in the art zone, I got surprised. Calcio, thank you for the tier subscription for 4 months.
Long, but wanted to say howdy.
Howdy, thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate you. I'm sorry for the surprise. No, you're fine. It's my own foolish. I really need to do something about the pop because it probably should shut off raids. That's a wise idea for sure. That is a pertinent bit of thought that I probably should have had myself, but I'm so deep in the art zone because we are here. I do not want to be going. I do not want to raid this. Well, I mean, if you invite, if you're inviting me. I'm so sorry. I got hit with the sassy mood. Wait, no. I'm sorry. I won't lie. I got you mixed up with Marms because I think you have similar shades of blue. No, Oceano. God damn it. I'm so sorry. I do that a lot. I got Sluther and Squid mixed up sometimes. Right, I identify folks primarily by color and length of the username, but I very much did a glance in that. So I just saw the color and my brain didn't internalize the actual length. Is this Despacito but Wii Shop channel? They both have that color. I'm glad I'm not the only one who does that. Okay, what is it? It's Despacito, but something. Mario Party 2. Hey, Starky, guess what? 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 Oh, Dev. Or was it 2? It's Mario Party 2. Oh, god damn it. Guys, shirt doesn't cover his torso. Who would wear clothing like that? Yeah, imagine. Well, it's just like because you see it's soggy, so like naturally it's not offering as much coverage. Oh, come on in, Chaos. Gotta have you, Sweet Bean. Imagine what? Dragons?
What does this button do?
No, Chaos.
Please, do
You
not
can't just
push
press the button.
You have no
How do we
idea
change
what
name color? No, don't do that.
Duck this one.
Nobody tell him. Chaos cool beetle. Chaos very cool beetle. Chaos very sweet. Imagine a shirt that doesn't qualify as a shirt. This is from Bowser's Inside Story, right? Yeah, I was gonna say, it's like, this is, Scoosy, what the fuck? I need to, like, learn how to use more of these tools. For sure. For sure, for sure. Can I share a cursed thought? I'm concerned. But go for it, I guess? Oh, no, it's okay, it's you, Chaos. Never mind, you're fine. Your cursed thoughts are relatively tame compared to the rest of my mods. No, Phoenix, you were pink before. The We Are Charlie. Oh my god, never mind. Your cursed thoughts are just as cursed as the rest of my mods. I really need to. Hey, anyone looking to add a moderation position to their We're colorful? Need to make mine align with my Sona's colors. Oh, that's fair. Not often, but there's a non-zero chance they appear. I have at least one mod who isn't cursed, usually. Thank you, Suda, for holding down the fort. Scientifically, it was bound to happen eventually. Fair enough. That's fair. I can't give you too much grief. Suda something wild. Suda something wildly cursed right now. Balance. No. Okay. I think I just want to do the background now. They're one of the most normal songs I could give you, Starky. Starky, you did the eye light reflection right. Yeah, I was kind of like, I won't lie, I kind of had to, it took me a couple of tries to get that one right, because I was like, it was looking weird initially. I couldn't really have told you why, but all I know is that it did.
Wretch, wretch, we're the wretch.
POV, you see a Wikipedia article with your Earl name associated with Starky. The article has been was ed, it covers oddly specific trivia. It says was reading this article and your PC turns off. When you turn it back on, the page never existed.
Not gaslighting yourself with the internet. In my name. Okay. So what if I did more like a red? Nah, I need to make the ocean more purple for that to look compelling. Like, for that to look like, you know, something that... There we go. What we do with that info, like a haunted Wikipedia article, if you pops into existence with a death date and then it's gone. This beetle's so full of unsettlingly cursed weather facts, mostly around tornadoes, but a lot of natural disasters. Interesting. I did not realize that that was one of your particular interests. But well, you know that new train mascot? What new train mascot? He's a fox by Fat Dragonite, I think. Oh, I'll have to look next. I love Fat Dragonite's work. Okay. I think now we just gotta add the details. Which is, by details, I mean literally just, like, add the, let's see. Check DMs. Wait, is this an... Wait. Is this an actual railway? Is this an actual honest-to-God railway? Wait, that's not the right shit. Because this is Fat Dragonite style. I guess the question is, like, was it posted on Reg? Oh my god, it's actually an official railway. That's wild. Genuinely good for him. I was gonna say, like, if this was posted on, like, you know, if it was like Fat Dragonite's YouTube, I'd be like, okay, it's probably just like a fun thing he did. Okay, this is adorable though. I'm so genuinely congrats to Luke. That's awesome, honestly. The animation's great. It doesn't surprise me at all. Like the animation quality that he does is like he got booped. And to be honest with you, you know, it does make sense to get, you know, listen, furries like trains, furries like anthropomorphic animals. So it makes sense. I don't know. I like trains, and I'm a furry. And Mr. Labrador also likes trains, and he's a furry, so... There's 2 data points. Okay. Okay, lower the opacity to... Fatty Dragonite showed up in my Rex before, but I ignored it. It was probably not the target audience. I mean, honestly, here's the thing. Like, Luke's, like, you know, Fatty Dragonite stuff is, like, super wholesome. So, like, even if you're, you know, it is a decent amount of, like, you know, fat for art. But, like, there is some genuinely, like, sweet stuff in there as well. Hold up. There is one thing I need to fix. This nipple should be lighter in color. Also, Oceano, if you have that song ready, because we are currently in backup queue. What the fuck? Hey, Oceano. What is this? What do you mean, Asgore Finger Fukong? Oh my god, it hit me like a fucking truck. You had to ask? I did. I did have to ask.
Spin!
Oh, the brush size is Giga. A Bergen truck. I should not be trying to manipulate this with my fucking stylus. Who requested this song? Oceano. When in doubt, assume it's one of my mods being a problem.
Wretch, wretch, we're the wretch.
What's up, Crisp?
You feeling hopeful for tomorrow?
No. All of the hope and joy and excitement has fucking evaporated from my body. I guess to be fair, we no longer have to deal with Teru, so you know, that's a significant upside. All right, make sure that I I'm gonna be honest with you. This man was a prophet before his time. Terry 100% strikes me as someone who would not have the pass despite being bi. You can tell he's just given up. Why low-key are why is low-key the signature like incredibly difficult for me to get consistently? Fun fact, my signature can't be forged because it's not in cursive. All right, I think this is a good place, you know? Hey, I am quite happy with this piece, which means I need to find a way to one-up myself for next time. I will probably be exporting this and probably sending it over to Krim, so that way he can, you know, it as like a bit of a gift. And then I will probably be posting this later on my Blue Sky, so do keep an eye out for that if this is your speed. But yeah, let's see. Let's go and put the outro playlist, and let's see who's live. Let's see. It is a new week. I think I might have flubbed and failed to rate a Thunderfang member last time, so I should probably make sure I extra do that this week. Let's see. Let's see who's live from Thunderfang. Oh, thank you for the farewell sippy. Let's see. I've never interacted with Razem, so that's an option. I see Bran. Bran is also doing art. Bran and I have been somewhat art buddies. Yoshi's doing Fortnite. Let's see. I think we go to the person I've not interacted with a whole bunch, but who is a fellow Thunderfang member. Use my emotes or whoever's emotes you happen to have. If you don't got my emotes, feel free to use, you know, whatever emotes you have. And if you're not subscribed to anyone here on Twitch, which is entirely fair, feel free to use the version with the emojis, as those can be used anywhere on Twitch. Right over to Razem. Let's all change to the same color. No, I swear to God. To be fair, that only affects me. But no, if this is your first time here, I'm StarkyMorph, big A Chaos Curling Internet, variety streamer, live every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. Mostly we do indie games. However, over the last 2 years, we've been learning art. So if you'd like to see that, feel free to stick around. Drop a follow here, as well as one over on Blue Sky. I post art that I make, art that get commissioned, general ramblings, you know, pictures of the food that I make, updates about the video essay that I'm working on, which is, that is very, very slow going. It is unfortunately kind of fallen by the wayside as other stuff has taken priority. I will hopefully get some work done on it either tomorrow or Wednesday. But yeah, we'll go from there. I have a YouTube if you'd like to catch up on the VODs there. Marshmallow Bears and I have been playing Danganronpa 2, so if you'd like to catch up so you know what's going on, I'll be honest with you, I feel like even if you are caught up, it's still entirely possible you won't know what's going on. I think that's just the Danganronpa experience. We also have a Discord if you'd like to pop in there, so I'll say hi to all the Sweet Beans, see the correspondent of the Sweet Beans post, and let's see. Oh yeah, the coffee sponsorship with Dragon Rose Coffee. Get 10% off with discount code StarkyMorph. Help support the stream, and you get some really, really good coffee out of it. And, you know, help support, like, local, local roasters. But yeah, I love you guys to bits. I will be playing Danganronpa 2 with Marshmallow Bears tomorrow. Thursday will be Time Strangers, where we will be taking on some of the side quests. And Friday will be more art. I love y'all. Bye!